What's up, everyone? This is Tatum. I'm back with another episode of this review, and tonight is very special, man. I feel, just to start it off, I feel like this album is probably the best hip-hop album I heard in a couple years. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Like, just from every standpoint of storytelling to vulnerability to lyricism to beats, this one is up there. So I was eager to do this. I wanted to do a reaction. I know I said I was gonna do a reaction when I reviewed when I did the reaction to Scientists and Engineers, but this album was so good I just didn't want to give it like this frivolous reaction like to first listen, and like I really wanted to take it in. So without further ado, here's the review for Killer Mike's Michael. Best Killer Mike album. First of all, I'll just say that off the top. No ID, executive producer, did a wonderful job. From the stories I heard, that how Killer Mike had most of the stuff done and brought it to No ID, and just how he made him a better artist in the time. Listening to this from fucking Down by Law all the way to High and Holy, it's not a skip on this album. 14 songs, I think it's the perfect amount of songs. I feel like every feature served its purpose. Like, no one sounded out of place. No one sounded like there was like this record company forced you to do this song with this artist. Everything sounded perfect, and it added to the story of Killer Mike. Go through some of these songs on here. Down by Law was a great opening record. The perfect way to start off the album, and to have CeeLo at the end, just keeping that Dungeon Family name alive. I thought the instrumental for Shed Tears was fucking amazing. No ID sample flipping on that record is just like, okay. Like, it's something I believe he started that kind of sound on 444, but he kind of like mastered it now. Like, the way that he's blending and going throughout samples are crazy throughout this whole album. And Killer Mike shows up. Mozzie surprised me. I'm not a big Mozzie fan. So to hear that verse on there, I thought that was like, oh shit. Like I said, everyone showed up. Good to hear Young Thug on a No ID beat. When are we gonna get that ever again? And to have Dave Chappelle do the intro, and because throughout this whole album, one of my favorites also is the Talking That Shit, which Killer Mike received major feedback and criticism just for some of his political views and who he aligned himself with throughout the years. You know, with black people, you're damn if you do, damn if you don't most of the time. To hear him like kind of address that, and you know, like letting people know this is more than which the eye can see. Like, the shit that I'm doing is generational, you know what I mean? Like, it's just good to hear, even though he doesn't have to, it's just good to hear that he's listening, you know what I mean? I hear what you got to say, I hear all this, and even, I think it was the song before this, where he talks about his own demons and growing up and selling drugs, and at sometimes, like, how that destroyed the community. Like, the drugs he sold to the mom, the money she was going to use to feed her kids went to his pocket. It made him rich, you know what I mean? I thought that was like, just the vulnerability and accountability is always something that's great within rap, because we rarely get accountability in rap. I thought it was dope to have Jagged Edge on there, keeping it Atlanta, having that slumber story. He's dating the girl, like playing with her heart, playing with everything with the woman, and she goes on and gets pregnant by an older guy, and then, you know, it comes back around later in life with him and her, and it's just like lost love kind of thing. And I thought it was dope, and to have Jagged Edge on there was just like the icing on the cake. First half of this album is great, but I believe the second half is what makes it classic. Starting with Scientists and Engineers with Andre Future, and I can't forget her name, Irene Allen Kane, I believe. If I'm butchering that, let me know, I'm sorry. But you did an amazing job on Scientists and Engineers, and Motherless, my favorite song. You killed that shit. Scientists and Engineers, and listening to it when I did the reaction, which is why I didn't want to do it to this, to the whole album, is because like I missed so much shit in that Andre verse. Killer Mike verse was just so stellar, and to have like Future on there was just like also another icing on the cake. Like, he didn't really have to be there, but sometimes Future can get vulnerable in his own right, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like the best Future to me. To go into 2 days with Ty Dolla $ign, to follow that up with Spaceship Views, and I'm not even the biggest Currency fan. Like, I could never like get with his flow. He didn't make me like want to skip the song when he started it off, and have 2 Chainz in there, and have the girl, what's her name, Cash Page, to sing behind Under Investigation or some shit like that. That was just, I was riding in my car and I was like, this is so fucking good. DJ Paul did he did Talking That Shit, and he also helped with the drums on Scientists and Engineers at the Killer Mike part, which is fucking amazing. Exit 19, you really start digging into his life. Fucking Fabo on Something for the Junkies. Oh my God, that song's so fucking good, yo. The story of him talking about his aunt and how she was like having kind of flashbacks in the moment of talking and lighting a cigarette, and also like thank Killer Mike for always seeing his auntie as a human, even though she had this addiction and demon on her back. Like, you know how we treat addicts in this country. We treat them like we treat the homeless. We always look at them, we putting them down. It's like it's a lack of just caring, for lack of better words. Like, we just throw them to the wayside. And it was, that line just stuck out to me when at the end of the second verse, where he talks about his auntie like thanking him for still seeing her as a human. And then to have Fabo on there, like, you know, somebody's praying right now that their mama don't die, you know. To go into Motherless, which is probably my favorite song, brought tears to my eyes. When I got to Motherless, I couldn't get past it. I just kept rewinding it. Listening to my car and my headphones. You know what? Actually, the first time I heard it, I was in my car, and I just kept rewinding it till I got to my destination. And that shit brought tears to my eyes, to talk about my mama dead, her mama dead, and to talk about the situation with his mom and grandmother and his birth and the sacrifices his mother had to make. And just that, you know, it don't even matter how I feel, because still I'm still motherless, you know what I mean? And man, like I said, that shit brought tears to my eyes. My favorite song in the album for sure. We get Run the Jewels, Don't Let the Devil, to end it with High and Holy with Ty Dolla $ign. And I heard when he was doing the interview that he sent one record to Ty Dolla $ign, and Ty Dolla $ign asked for more. I thought that was just dope. Just being creative and feeding off each other. Even Andre bringing in Scientists and Engineers. Just a great body of work that it couldn't have been called anything other than Michael. Now I'm looking at it, like, it couldn't have been called anything other than Michael. It's so personal, so personal. Like I said, that second half from 7, 8-ish on down, like, the first half is dope too. Like, don't get me fucking wrong, but that second half shows so much like courage. One of my favorites of the year. Let me get into my favorite songs, man. Motherless, it has to be Something for the Junkies, and it might be Shed Tears with Mozzie. The song I love the least, like worst, I can't even say, like, hold on, let me go through this. If I have to choose one, it'll have to be Nigga Rich, maybe. Favorite line that stood out to me, or verses that stood out to me, that second verse, well, no, that third verse, no, fuck that second and third verse on Motherless. Go back and listen to those. That was fucking crazy. Like, again, him talking that shit on Talking That Shit, first verse. Them niggas did me dirty when I fell off, but I won't write no tell-all. My book is giving you game, nigga. I ain't gotta rap about lame niggas or talk about lame niggas. I said, oh my gosh. To give it a rating, man, I'll give it, to me, 10 out of 10.
Niggas talk to me about that woke ass shit. Yeah.
If you're not paying attention to this album and you love hip-hop on any level, go check out this fucking album, man. I think it's gonna be contender for it gotta get Grammy nominated. I know that's not the goal and things for hip hop, but this one deserves to be recognized on a high level. And what a time! Like, obviously Killer Mike's been around for years, like since I was a kid, since fucking The Whole World by Outkast. But like, then to go through the Adidas phase, and go to the Bone Crusher phase, then go through the Run the Jewels phase, and like Jay-Z popping like, it's so, the journey of Killer Mike is so, it's such a great story. And to end up at this point, not like we're at the end, but to be at this point where, like, this is why you gotta give artists time and rappers time. I'm not saying that he wasn't great. We know Run the Jewels, we know what Killer Mike is, but this is like his magnum opus. Like, all that to get to this, and that's how I'm gonna end this review. Man, let me know what you think of the new Killer Mike album. Michael, what's some of your favorite songs on here? What's some of the lines that stood out to you? Let me know in the comments. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you are a subscriber, make sure you hit that notification button so you know when I'm dropping a video. That's pretty much it. I'm Tatum. As always, F this review. Peace.